Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And oh boy. All right, guys. So, this is going to be really a follow-up video to my thoughts about the Toonami Rewind block that's debuting Friday, May 31st. Because that video got a lot of attention from a lot of people. So there were some positive feedback from some people, but there was also some people where it was like they didn't agree with me, but they also understood where I was coming from. Then there was also people that didn't literally do any research or anything on what they were talking about, or there were people that just blatantly disagreed with me, or there were people that were whatever, comments that didn't really know anything what they're talking about. First and foremost, I want to say this right now. For the people that aren't subscribed to my channel or don't follow my channel or know the way I cover things, I have been a Toonami fan since it started, pretty much. Close. I mean, I started really regularly watching in 1999. But I do remember a lot of some of the other stuff as well. I have been a Toonami fan really almost since the beginning. Okay. Now, because of this, I, myself, as a YouTuber who has been on this platform longer than probably I should have been, since 2010, I, myself, have been making videos, not always about Toonami, but, I mean, I've made a ton of videos over the years about Toonami. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to stuff that happens on Toonami. All right, I follow it. I know it. I was one of the people that was a big advocate to try and get Toonami back on Cartoon Network back in the day when it was not available anymore. Okay, when it was canceled. Okay, during that 4-year time period of it being canceled. Okay. I've been there. I was there. April Fool's joke, the resurrection of Toonami, all that stuff. Okay, I know what goes on. Okay, all right. I know a lot of the things that go on, and I think a lot of the people that were commenting on my videos didn't actually understand this fact. So I'm going to talk about that right now because that video wasn't really relevant to me talking about the stuff that people were talking about, but people were bringing it up anyways as if I didn't know. Okay, yes, guys, I know about the quote-unquote budget that Jason DeMarco keeps spewing every goddamn year, okay, since pre-flight, okay, even before pre-flight, okay. Now, here's the thing, okay. Jason DeMarco and a lot of the higher-ups at Toonami and even more higher up than Toonami, Warner Brothers, Warner Media, all those guys are the horrible CEO David Zaslav, okay, that's basically ruining Warner Brothers right now as we speak. People need to understand something when it comes to this quote-unquote budget thing that Jason DeMarco keeps spilling out every goddamn year, okay? He's not telling you everything that's going on because he legally can't, okay? So it's not just a budget issue, okay? It's not just, oh, well, this anime company won't give me the show because it's either too expensive, or they want it on a streaming service, or they want it on Hulu, or they want it on their own streaming service. There's a lot more components that go into it more than just that, or if it's just even a Japanese company holding it up. But a lot of people that were commenting, I don't seem to think understood this grasp. Another thing that was brought up was about the goddamn the whole fact that Toei Animation might be the reason why Dragon Ball Z, the OG Dragon Ball Z, isn't, being allowed to be broadcasted, which to me is very, very not realistic when you think about the fact that there are other countries to this day that are still airing the OG DBZ. I mean, yeah. A lot of people were citing things like, oh, well, it aired on Nicktoons, it aired on Kids WB, or CW, whatever that was called at the time, Toonzai, I think it was. It aired on this and aired on that. I'm like, you do realize GT was airing at that time too, right? When Nicktoons was airing DBZ Kai. Okay? There's a lot of components more than what people are saying about this. Oh, it's just Toei Animation holding it up. It's like, no, that's not it at all. Okay? Also, I'd like to add, the OG DBZ, despite the fact that it doesn't have the Bruce Falconer score in it, it has the regular Japanese score, but it is the OG dub, just without the Bruce Falconer score, has aired more often on the streaming services than DBZ Kai. The OG DBZ dub has been widely more available than the DBZ Kai dub for years on streaming service. So despite the fact that Toei Animation doesn't want DBZ on TV, supposedly, like people are saying, they're okay with it being more out there on the streaming service for newer fans to see over the DBZ Kai dub for people that don't have cable, since a lot of people don't have cable anymore. Yeah, that makes real sense. No, it doesn't. So that was one thing that was brought up. Now, again, I can't confirm or deny if the whole Toei Animation theory is accurate or not. I'm going to be completely honest with you about that, because there is no documentations, there is no statements, there is no public knowledge of this. Now, some person in the comments section cited that, old Funimation employees stated this, which is very, very murky to talk about when they don't have an official statement from a actual former employee that said this and can't cite that. And you also can't take into account because, Funimation isn't an official company anymore. It's merged with Crunchyroll now. So that doesn't really help at all either. So no, this theory is very, very murky, though a lot of people do seem to believe it. So I guess there is somewhat of a possibility. But again, until we actually have heard actual legitimate evidence, which no one actually has been able to give me legitimate evidence, they've just given me their assumption or theory on it, then that doesn't fly with me. I'm not gonna go by just hearsay. I need actual official statements, guys, or something that, from an actual credible thing. And keep in mind, Jason DeMarco had years to say that, and he never did. Jason DeMarco has the TV rights of DBZ Kai, and yet he's never once said that, we can't get the OG DBZ because Toei Animation said we can't. He's never said that. All right, even if you go back to Pre-Flight, which a lot of people wants to cite, even if you go back to Toonami Pre-Flight, Jason DeMarco never said that. He said one of the biggest failures by fans, which was voted by fans, by the way, is that they never aired the OG DBZ or not DBZ, the OG DBZ dub with the Bruce Falconer score. They talked about this, and they never once brought up that the reason why they're not airing it is because of Toei Animation. They just cited the whole filler thing, and it's 291 episodes. Kai's much faster, and it doesn't take as long or whatever. That's what they talked about when they cited their reasoning. They never said it was because of Toei Animation, which I'm almost certain they could have just easily blurred that out if that was the case. So again, even if you want to go back to the time machine here, Jason DeMarco has never once said it was because of Toei Animation. Okay, so let's get that debunked right now. All right. So that's my whole thing with Dragon Ball Z. Again, hell, even voice actors. There were even voice actors on social media that actually didn't like the idea of Kai being on this block because, again, it's like what I said. DBZ Kai isn't really that old. I mean, yeah, some people bring up, oh, well, it's 14 years old. Yeah, okay, it's old, but it's constantly being shown on the block. It's been shown on the block multiple times, regularly. As a matter of fact, DBZ Kai was just on the regular block like a month or two ago. Okay? So, it's been vastly on television. Okay? It has been on television for a while now. Okay? So, again, yeah, it's old, but again, this whole concept of this Toonami Rewind is supposed to be about shows that hasn't aired in a long time. It's supposed to be like a boomerang, like a way back machine. DBZ Kai has been shown to death on the Toonami block. So why would you show it on Rewind when you've literally been showing it already multiple times on the regular block? It's been overexposed at this point. So yes, the OG DBZ would be a much better option, and people actually liked my opinion on this on social media. Voice actors, might I add. Okay? So yeah, that's my take on this. Now, getting to Sailor Moon, because there has been a lot of misinformation and miscommunication with some people that are commenting on my videos when it comes with the last video when it came to Sailor Moon. Okay. First of all, because I didn't really get that much into Sailor Moon in that video, because again, it was talking about the block in general. But again, my take on the new Sailor Moon Viz Media dub airing on Toonami Rewind isn't as much of an issue to me as the problem with it being considered a Wayback Machine show. Yes, it's a classic show. It's aired on television before, but the old dub aired on television, not this new dub of the classic Sailor Moon. This never aired on TV. Because of that, I believe that this particular new dub of Sailor Moon should be on the current Toonami block on Saturday night or Sunday morning, whatever you consider it. That's what I think it should be on. Okay, I'm not saying that the new Sailor Moon dub shouldn't be on Toonami. I'm saying that it should be on the classic, the current block, the regular block on Saturday night. Okay, that because this Sailor Moon dub has never been on television before. So to present it as a Wayback Machine, that this is old, that we're showing again, it's not, because to the viewer perspective, this is new. They never seen Sailor Moon like this. They never seen Sailor Moon with the. I mean, I'm not saying everyone has, because obviously there's a lot of people that have watched it on Hulu and whatnot. Or on their DVD or Blu-ray. I'm just saying that I think it makes more sense for it to be on the current block. Okay. Now, yes, some people have also pointed this out. Yes, Sailor Moon Crystal was a possibility 6 years ago. I think it was around 6 years ago. I don't exactly remember what year it was, but it was around 6 years ago, I think it was, where Jason DeMarco confirmed that he was in negotiations to possibly have Sailor Moon Crystal, which was the new Sailor Moon. It was basically supposed to be a reboot of the classic Sailor Moon, but, kind of more closer to the manga, I guess. They were in negotiations to have that be on the current Toonami block 6 years ago, but of course Hulu had more money and basically got it, as well as the classic Sailor Moon redub. So that was fine. I mean, again, Hulu back then had a lot of money. They were owned by multiple different companies. Now they're solely owned by Disney, and I am wondering how Toonami did get a pretty good bargain on it, I guess, because I've heard that they got the classic Sailor Moon got a pretty good deal on it. And my understanding is that because Hulu is now just really owned by Disney now, rather than multiple different companies, that a lot of the, outside of Disney deals that were done are kind of like expiring, or, Disney is not going to renew the existing contracts for a lot of these shows. And Sailor Moon was one of these casualties. And this is why Sailor Moon was so cheap when the bidding came out for Toonami to get it. I don't know if that's true, but based on what we're seeing with Hulu, because Hulu's supposed to merge with Disney Plus. It was supposed to happen in spring, so I don't know what's going on now with Hulu. Maybe they changed their mind, but that's supposed to have happened. So we'll see where that goes. But that's not what this video is about. But again, Sailor Moon being on Toonami, I do think is a good thing. I just think it should be on the regular Toonami block. This boomerang-like block for Toonami really should be trying to bring back classic shows like Zoids, Chaotic Century, Zoids New Generation. And yes, I know they don't have a license holder, but they could get one. I mean, Toonami could license it. They license their own shows, okay? They licensed IGPX. I mean, they still had to license that. I mean, that's their own original show. Fooly Cluely, they budgeted those, season 2, 3, and 4 or whatever. They could, license Zoids again, and, put it out there, but they choose not to. And yes, I know this whole budget, because people are going to comment, oh, but they have a budget. But obviously that didn't stop them from licensing other things that Jason liked, things that weren't really things that people cared about. Jason DeMarco, licensed things that literally none of the viewers gave a shit about. And, his little passion projects that none of the fans really cared about. And yet he still went about it. And that was money that was covered by Toonami's quote-unquote budget. Okay? So, they can license Zoids if they really wanted to. Okay? And if you're being really serious about trying to turn back the way back machine with this quote-unquote nostalgia vibes, I think Zoids would be pretty significant. Batman the Animated Series people talked about. I think that's another good idea. Reboot. Now that's a blast from the past. Someone suggested that as well. I think Reboot is another classic. Warning incoming game. 99, 99, 99. Yes, I remember all that shit. Okay. I like Reboot. Okay. Yes. I think that would be another good idea. There's a lot of good ideas that they can do. There's a lot of shows that they can show. And it doesn't need to be anime. Toonami is not a goddamn anime block. It never was. I repeat, because there are still some nimrods that comment this crap all the goddamn time. Toonami was not an anime block. It was not created to be an anime block. As a matter of fact, when it first started, it didn't have any anime on it. Okay? As a matter of fact, Sailor Moon was the first anime that aired on Toonami. That's facts. Okay? That is facts. Okay? And that was like a year later after Toonami had aired. Okay? Had started. Okay? So, enough with this whole myth that some of these new Toonami fans that weren't around during the Cartoon Network era of Toonami that don't even know what they're talking about. Toonami was an action-packed block. That was the design of it. It's literally in the slogan, building you a better cartoon show. It's not building you a better anime show, because that was never the whole design of it. The design of it was action-pack block, okay? That was the theme of Toonami. It was not anime. It never was 100% anime. Anime is a big part of Toonami, don't get me wrong, but it's not all about the anime, okay? It never was. This is an urban legend that some of the new fans are starting to think, because Jason DeMarco can't get out of his comfort zone when it comes to putting stuff on. You know, there's a lot of classic things that they could have put on over the years that they chose not to, that weren't anime oriented. You know, if there was a lot more DC shows that they wanted to put on Toonami, it would have made it even better. You know, because they put a lot of DC shows on the Cartoon Network Toonami way back in the day. So yeah, there's a lot of things that they could have done. Okay. Moving on to Naruto, the original Naruto anime. Again, as I said, I don't have an issue with Naruto being on here. The classic Naruto. I am curious to wonder if it is going to be the old Naruto like version from like back in the day that aired on Toonami, or if it's going to be like the actual uncut version of Naruto. Because there was an edited version of Naruto that aired on TV. On Toonami. It aired that way on Toonami. It wasn't that edited, but it was edited to the point where it was kind of toned down. They did have more English text too. Like I remember the tuning exams, they actually spelled out their names on the graphs, which I actually liked that they animated it that way. But I don't know if they're going to have that version available. Or if it's just going to be what you see on the streaming services now. But yeah, I remember I was a teenager when Naruto came out. Naruto came out later. Naruto was during the Tom 3 era. It was not during the Tom 2 era. But I remembered I was like 12 or 13 at the time when it came. I think I was 12 in 2006. So it came out later. When I was watching Dragon Ball Z and like the classics, like from the golden era of Toonami, I was like 8. Like I was much younger when Dragon Ball Z came out and stuff like that. But I remember them all. They were all great. I think again Naruto being on this block is okay because he has the original Naruto hasn't aired in years. So it being back on Toonami, I think, is a good thing. But again, DBZ Kai doesn't need to be on there. It's been there a while. And again, they're mismanaging this advertisement when they did that bumper because they literally showed Linda Young's clip, which is, you know, why are you picking that clip specifically? You know what I'm saying? Like because of the flashback episode in episode 1 of Kai, for Frieza doesn't laugh and it's Linda Young's voice. Why did Toonami specifically pick that clip? Okay, you got to ask yourself, why did they pick that clip? They specifically picked that clip to fool the viewer. Okay, they specifically picked that clip. I don't want to hear this bullshit that, oh, it's a coincidence. No, it's not. They literally picked that on purpose. Because if that's the case, why not just show a clip of Chris A? You know, Chris A did great for what he did. You know, and why not show him? If they really, they're really trying to, force on the fact of the OG fans from DBZ from back in the day, but yet they're not going to show the original DBZ. They're going to show, things here and there where it kind of looks like the old DBZ, but it's not. It's Kai, It's called marketing, guys. It's called marketing. Okay? Trick marketing, actually. So yeah. Again, when it comes to Sailor Moon, again, there's still a lot of people that don't know about Sailor Moon, the new dub, which I'm sure that's going to introduce a lot of people to the new dub, which is why it should have been on television like 7 years ago. I mean, I remember when they made the announcement in 2014 that they were doing a new dub. They're doing that whole passing of the torch from the, old dub people that were there, doing interviews and stuff like that. Doing, Q&As and shit like that before they introduced the new voice cast. I remember that. Like I said, it's like long overdue. It should have been on TV. But I just don't think it should be on this particular block. It should be on the regular Toonami block. Yeah, I mean, legal issues. Again, when it comes to the old dub, people that still like the old dub. I don't have an issue with the old dub. Like I said, I think the old dub. I met some of the voice acting cast for the old dub. They're tremendous people, tremendous voice actors. I wish they would have gotten another opportunity to do the new dub uncut. Obviously, they were never afforded that opportunity because Toei wanted to, completely do something new. The creator of Sailor Moon wanted to do something new with it. So that's what happened. I've talked about this before. I really wish they could have re-released the old DVDs. I do believe they do still have it somewhere. I don't think it's lost. I mean, with all these things that are going on, with all these, redubs and, people, reintroducing old dubs, to re-releases of DVDs and Blu-rays, like Neon Genesis, for example. I do believe that it is somewhere. I believe, they claim it's been crumbled. It's not, the masters didn't really age well or whatever. That's what they claimed. I don't believe that. I think they do have it somewhere, whether it's in Deke Studios or wherever, Deke is currently today, or it's, with Viz, whoever has it. I don't know. I know somebody has it. Okay? I know somebody has it. They just don't want to release it because of legal issues and all that other shit. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. It is what it is. It sucks. Because I do think those voice actors that did the old Deeks and the Clover Wake, I do think they could have gotten a better opportunity at, doing it right. Which is just very unfortunate that they didn't get that opportunity. But That's just how things happen sometimes, unfortunately. But again, it has no bearing on what Toonami is doing, though. Like, again, this is something that's been going on for years. It's been out there, so I don't know why it's still being talked about when most people should know this by now. But again, when it comes to Toonami Rewind, I think they really missed an opportunity on a lot of these things. And hopefully, some new things can happen. Like I said, I'll still stand on my opinion on the DBZ Kai. I believe they should air the OG DBZ. But we'll see what happens. It starts 5 to 7, so it's only 2 hours. And it's only on Fridays. It's every Friday, though. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to end it here. Comment, rate if you like this video, my video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell for all these contents. Thank you. And that's it. I am the S Ultimate Goku Moderate. Peace.